It's v.h.s.x. What do you mean?
All right, everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we have a video suggested by two of you guys in a Discord community, so I think it's I'm really hoping I don't butcher this, okay, but I think it's fecondo, right? Or is it fecando? Is it fecando? Fecondo? Fecando? Yeah. And also Unworldly Lime 47 for suggesting these well, this video, you could say. And this video is from SpookyZombae, titled entitled TTV calls me sweaty and close-minded for using my power as killer, Dead by Daylight. Now, I wanted to talk about it because there is a lot to be discussed. Obviously, the second that we're seeing anybody talking about TTVs, and especially like more, you know, like people that are like pillars, you could say, of the culture of the DBD community, I feel like these you know, a lot of people are very influential depending on the following they have, man, and I think they help kind of spread a lot of negativity and really bad things, you know, which I mean, yo, like, you already know exactly what I'm talking about. The same person that equated pressing W and S on your keyboard as literally SA, you already know that the DBD community are really just putting up the wrong people at that point. But anyway, let's go ahead and give it a watch. And if you want to watch the original, of course, in the description. They're giving a lot of information, but we're gonna skip to try to get to the nitty-gritty
of the match. Throughout the video, I'll do my best to explain what I was thinking, why I made certain decisions, and why it might have looked like I always knew where he was. Spoiler alert, I was running barbecue and chili. So let's get into it.
Well, what's done is when you whatever something.
After landing that successful hit, he ends up taking a portal, and in this time I decide to continue to check around the silo. I eventually spot the other portal, which has the scratch marks coming from it, and from my view it was leading to the other side of the silo.
So that right there is a perfect example, and I can probably imagine of what we're gonna see here. Is survivors crashing out because the killer's finding me quickly, and it's like, maybe move in a way that isn't predictable. You should fully understand that, like, the portals have an endpoint, especially during the event. So obviously this video may be considered a little outdated, but I do think that it's still reflective of the DBD community as a whole, especially when events are supposed to be considered casual experiences that are not, you know, meant to be taken seriously. So when you see something like this, you understand full well that this is very reflective of the DBD community because of its frequency and because of the fact that this is not like just one isolated incident. Like, this is something that happens consistently with or without the events, with or without like a limited time mode or a modifier or an event or a skin drop or whatever the case may be. It has always consistently been like this. This is not new, you know what I mean? But we talk about it because it's better to bring awareness to this type of thing. And just right off the rip, we're seeing like a bad play, and they're probably gonna crash out, but they're making a bad play, right? Because you're injured, instead of trying to get to literally anywhere besides like going through a portal that potentially could backfire on you, that's what they do, and then run to a locker. So I'm like, come on now.
I try to blink in hopes I will catch him, but after that blink I realize the scratch marks are not leading to anywhere else but the locker he had jumped into. I am someone who uses head-on quite a bit myself when I play Survivor. I know exactly what players like to do in situations like this. You'll notice that I'm trying to bait the locker instead of walking straight into it, but sure enough, he gets the head-on stun and eventually manages to lose me.
Which arguably I would say that it's like a perfect example of how overtuned that the Survivor side really is. Especially during the event, I would say, like, really emphasized that aspect, of course. But notice, like, you know, they're getting a stun, full recovery, can still keep running at the speed of light, and then they have enough time to still activate, you know, that particular item that gave invisibility. Like, that's pretty diabolical, like, you know what I mean? And to think that during that event, of course, like this particular event, the fact that that's just one of the 10 effects, right, is just diabolical. You know? And we've even covered previously that behavior considered the fart cloud that they gave Killer to be strong, by the way. But if that is strong, then how is invisibility, free healing, pallet blocking and repairing, teleportation, invisibility, how are those things even comparing to that, though? A single fart cloud versus at least 5 different effects that I can recall. Like, the scales are already tipped in the wrong direction in that sense. Like, why are we not trying to give a little bit more to the side that only got the one item like that? You know, why don't we also give, like, portals to killers or some kind of haste or something, or like, I don't know, like something to make the gameplay more interesting, you know what I mean? And like really shake things up. You know, what if you could like throw a plate of food at their head or something, you know, and then that'll make them see freaking mud on the screen or something, you know what I mean? Like, just something, you know?
Like, I'd just be wasting time chasing one survivor around the map, so I broke off and went to pressure generators and look for someone else.
I hear a
Effectively
burning totem. Oh yeah, there's a oh shit. Yeah, well, it's between 2 lockers. Fuck, and she came over here. Oh man, god damn it.
A little later, I find him again and manage to land another hit. Just like before, he immediately takes another event portal. At this point, my mind hasn't changed. I still don't think it's worth committing to a chase where we're just going to keep going back and forth through portals. It wastes a lot of time and gives the other survivors plenty of opportunity to work on generators. So rather than tunneling my attention onto one survivor, I make the decision to break off the chase once again and go apply pressure somewhere else. A bit of a time skip, and I had been in chase with Michonne. I have hit her at this point and eventually downed her.
There's glowing bones by the tractor as well.
Yeah, I think she's watching my stream. She knows what I'm doing at all times. It's just very bizarre. She knew that I was in there after knocking you down.
If this doesn't reflect how I like to say low IQ a lot of these Survivor players are, I don't know what does. You know what I mean? It's really mind-blowing to me because these type of people will cry, bitch, complain that killers are overpowered, that these killers are stream sniping them, that these killers are being toxic, these killers are you know, whatever term that you want to use. Some people will claim that killers are racist or phobic to whatever that they want to like bring up that day, stuff like that. You name it. Like, this is not like a rarity. This is not something that just comes out of nowhere. This is something that happens constantly and every other day at that point. So let's really take the time out to let's just really just use our brains, because I know a lot of DBD players probably don't, and a lot of Survivors players especially don't. But let's try to, you know, turn those cogs, you know, dust off the old brain meat, and try to let's think about it, okay? You're injured, you were never healed, you're hiding in a locker, and there's like, I'm pretty sure there was blood on the ground. Let me actually take a look. I think there was blood too. There was a blood trail. Yo, there's a blood trail leading to the locker as well. There is a blood trail leading to the locker. Dude. Yo. I don't know what else there is to say at that point, bro. You can't get mad when it's your fucking fault. Like that's all I gotta say. You can't get mad when it's your fault. Like, you played wrong. You played like a freaking idiot. Like, what did you expect was gonna? Oh wait, the killer knows where I am. They're stream sniping. You're injured, which makes grunts of pain, and mind you, she's not that far away from the locker. Like, she was like literally like 5 feet away. What are you talking about? If she's right here, you see, like right there behind the locker with the hay bale, you're gonna hear grunts of pain in the locker. There's a blood trail leading to the freaking locker. What do you think is gonna happen? Like, are you dumb? Like,
Yeah, I think she's watching my stream. She knows what I'm doing at all times. It's just very bizarre. She knew that I was in there after knocking you down.
Bro wants to say after
To
nothing.
make this a little easier to understand, I actually recreated the situation with a couple of my friends.
Oh,
This recreation
okay,
shows the layout
perfect.
of the
All right.
lockers, the wall where Michonne was downed, where the TTV was hiding, and what my line of sight looked like from my perspective.
Oh, let's see it.
It's meant to give you a clear view of what I could
Oh!
actually see during the match and why
This
I
is
reacted
great.
the way I did. When I downed Michonne, he was already within my line of sight. If you watch his POV closely, you can also see just how close I was to both of them the moment Michonne went down.
Yo, this is a.
From my perspective,
is there-
I watched
are
him
they
run
gonna show
straight
it?
to the locker before
gonna
he
show it in
got
the video?
inside. If it wasn't any more clear, his scratch marks also led directly to the locker. There wasn't any hidden information.
Damn, I was hoping
or
it was a
stream
clip
sniping
too.
involved.
Crap.
I simply saw him with my own eyes.
Okay, there it is. There it is. There it is. So, yep, thank you. Thank you, what was her name again? Thank you, SpookyZombae, for including the video clip of literally what I freaking said, because I know a lot of these Survivor, you know, players think they're geniuses, heavy quotations, think they're geniuses that, oh yeah, I hit it, I'm not being hurt at all. I'm like, bro, thank you for including the clip of recreating this example. Thank you, because this is what we're talking about. This is what I've been talking about. It's like, where is the IQ, bro? Like, where is the brain power? Why are we making these stupid plays? They're dumb. Like, why are we running around injured, leaving blood everywhere, scratch marks, and grunts of pain all over the place, and then you're shocked that nobody, oh man, why am I being spotted? Why do they keep knowing where I am? They must be stream sniping. Like, no, they're not. Like, no, they're not. Like, are you joking? You have to be freaking insane.
Exactly where they would take you. In fact, it was entirely possible for a portal to bring you right back into my path. So simply taking a portal wasn't some guaranteed escape. Now let's talk about the invisibility mechanic, because I think there's a misconception a lot of survivors had during this event, especially those who didn't spend much time playing killer, if they spent any time at all. While a survivor was invisible, they still emitted a directional audio, meaning the killer could still track their general location just by listening carefully. Invisibility also doesn't remove collision. Survivors can still be bumped into, and their movement can still give them away. On maps with tall grass, or in this case, corn, a killer could also follow the movement of the environment to get an idea of where an invisible survivor was running. So while invisibility made survivors much harder to see, quite obviously, it didn't make them impossible to track.
That right there is a very, like, well, like, explained point, well said. Like, that's quite literally what it was. That is true. There's so many ways that you can track, even with the broken invisibility that they did add into that event. I will agree, like, that is an option. That is something that you could do. Obviously, it's map dependent, so if there's just not any tall grass or any indications, like the corn in the field or plant life or something to, like, kind of shift, you just won't be able to see them. So that probably, like, if it was like on RPD or something, that would pretty much impossible to track them down. However, when we're talking about the farm map in particular, we already know that that's going to be the case. We're like, there is options and there is ways to track them, and they are playing very badly. But I want to go ahead and move forward here and see how much worse it gets.
Oh, barbecue, yes, right. I forgot.
Yeah, and then slugging like that, like at 4 gens.
Well, I went up to him and I went up to her and I pointed, so I wonder if she was slugging to not believe.
I don't think mine was the first slugging either.
Like this idea of care about the
I pointed her and see if she becomes friendly.
Oh, TTV.
No, she's too busy, like, sweating their balls off to just try and get me in a 1-inch fucking teleport. Like, it ain't that serious.
I find the irony of the situation is that they say it ain't that serious, but aren't they the same ones crashing out that a killer is just playing the game normally? It's a little interesting. It's really funny because it's like, this is what they do. Like, this is the type of entitlement and toxicity that we're seeing from Survivor players nowadays. And I honestly just believe it's just due to the overabundance of spoon feeding and babying of these players and allowing like the culture to fester as it does, because there's nothing cracking down on these things and these behaviors. And this is the same person that's within the same program that I'm in, right? The same, like, they got the Twitch shirts and everything. So I'm like, we're having people that are promoting like harassment, negativity, and things like that, and those people are just in good standing. I don't understand it either. It makes no sense, because, and we haven't even gotten to that part yet. I want to see where it pops up.
Is they're playing very like.
I'm playing super sweaty. What am I supposed to do? I mean, try and enjoy the event and know people are not going to have fun. Just at 4 gens, you're slugging?
I already explained why I slugged, and it wasn't to be malicious or to gain an advantage in the game. Even if I was slugging to gain an advantage in the game, it still wouldn't matter. Everyone paid for this game, and they are entitled to play the game how they want to with the mechanics that they are given.
That I agree with as well. I mean, you know, a lot of Survivor players love to use it as a talking point. They say, oh, but you slug, oh, but you tunneled. I'm like, nobody fucking cares, dude. Nobody cares. Because survivors are fully able to utilize numerous exploits, and that's, they clap their hands and like seals the second you pull those off. Oh my goodness, you did a tech that they can't counter, yay! Like, they lose their minds. But yet if a killer is utilizing a strategy that is fully counterable with skill and gameplay, oh man, we can't have that. But I already covered that in another video. The amount of exploits, oh, and I mean genuine exploits, like shift tech, where you literally just, if you're an M1, good luck. Like on Shaq, good luck. You're not going to be able to get that window to block. You know what I mean? They try to mess around with your aim assist. They try to mess around with the button prompts you have. So like any keys, it's like, oh, press spacebar to do whatever. They'll try to vault, like they'll try to do a CJ, right? Messing around with your what do you call it? The button prompts and things like that, or the key prompts rather. You know what I mean? Like these things are all around manipulating the mechanics in ways that you literally just have to know in advance. Versus something where it's like you're going after somebody after the hook because it's efficient, and because that player probably isn't very good, they will probably die anyway. That's not an exploit. Like, that is purely gameplay. You're going to be chased again. That's just how it works. And if anything, it's a strategy that can backfire. If you're chasing the same person around and you're not able to down them, that's additional free time that they can go uncontested on their own objective. Same thing with slugging as well. Just pick up. It's that simple. They're trying to get you off of your objective. So I'm like, I don't really understand why it's frowned upon for killers, but yet survivors are constantly able to do whatever strategy they want, exploit anything they want, and that's never frowned upon. That is, like, by other Survivor players, never frowned upon in the community. It's ridiculous. It really is. It's a double standard, and we've been seeing this example like time and time and time again. It happens all the time now. It's within the culture, like, of this game for some reason, and I don't know why.
Messing around, the outcome doesn't matter. You're there to enjoy the match, not worry about whether you win or lose.
Well said.
We saw that you were like super sweaty, but it's all good.
Yeah.
Like, you're a really good nurse. You weren't toxic. You're a really good nurse. You're super fucking good at the game. But at that point, I stopped playing nurse because people were like DCing and not having fun. I want people to have fun in the game. I don't want them to give up.
This right here is what I like to tell you guys about, and it's called the gaslighting within the DBD community. This is something that Survivor players will do. They'll pretend they play killer, they'll LARP that they play killer, and then they'll try to tell other people who play killer or have played a killer and go, oh, I played killer and I didn't play like that. I was concerned with their fun. And it's like, you gotta think about it for a moment. What are they playing right now? What are most of their hours dedicated to? Survivor? Here's your answer. Because of their entitlement, because of the fact that they want free wins, because of the fact that they want to basically walk around the match scot-free, don't have to put any effort and get freebies every other match, they get mad. They throw a tantrum. So that's what they're doing right now. They're trying to convince other people to basically play exactly the way they want them to. And it's like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to play how we want to. Because he's like, you just notice how they're saying, it's very condescending, going, oh, you're like super good at the game, but like people were like DCing and not having fun when I played the same killer. So like, don't play that killer. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro.
DCing and not having fun. I want people to have fun.
I want to have people have fun with the game.
If you want to show
and
how
I'm like,
great you are
come on, buddy.
Killer, go for it. I'm just thinking the regular mode is probably best thing there.
See.
As I mentioned
It's
before,
that fake nice, like LARPy, like just like, oh, when I played killer, you know, I was able to do that and not have people DCing. I'm like, come on, bro. Bro, just play the game. Shut your pie hole up and just play the goddamn game. Like, nobody asked. Like, nobody cares. Like, just play the goddamn game. You already had enough in the event at that point to get your free win. You played like shit. You're assuming that they're stream sniping you because you're playing like shit. Like, come on now. Like, you have to be so for real right now. Like, what are we talking about?
Or I don't play Nurse. I've only played her a handful of times. No matter how many times I told the streamer that, he simply ignored it because I played well this match. Personally, I don't think I played that well. I cut out some of the early footage, but I was struggling to land that first hit and get comfortable with my blinks.
Yeah, that's something that a lot of people who start out with Nurse also experience. Like, she's not exactly the easiest killer in the game. And to be able to hit that level where you are consistent with Nurse, I think requires a lot of time and game sense. And according to the DVD stats that she's showing us here, it's Nurse with 3.6 hours total hours played, and 14th place in the amount of picks. So like, very rare pick, you know what I mean? About a 10-minute match as well, so it's even above the average nowadays as well, believe it or not. Because nowadays, like, 5-minute games are pretty much the norm. So 10 minutes is honestly like just 2 matches at that point. It's a lot.
So shouldn't that tell you the way that you were playing was sweaty?
No, Michonne giving up does not magically give me the information that you are all giving up or that you are all playing together. I had no way of knowing that you were a Swift or that her actions represented the entire team.
That right there, I think, is also very important to mention. That right there is a very key component. And it's like the fact that, and this is why I've said that nice killers breed entitlement. This is the example I want to use for this. Because why is it that if one person gives up, now the whole team has to leave, be able to escape? Like, that doesn't make any sense. But notice, like, that this is probably something that other killers in the past have done, or something that they want to try to convince that other killers do or have done in the past, to try to, like, sort of shape the culture around killers not killing and survivors getting escape rates through the roof. That's what they ultimately want. They want to be able to do that. That's really, like, the takeaway that I'm getting from this. And this is why I constantly tell you guys, like, this is the way that they manipulate the narrative. This is the way that they try to convince these people. They LARP and pretend that they play killers that they never do. Stuff like that. This is within the culture. This is what I've been telling you guys. This is why we cover the forum posts, and this is why we cover the videos like these, where they literally show us, like, what these people are saying and trying to convince people.
Hey, you're great at Nurse, but Nurse is S tier, Blight is S tier, and Billies are S tier. And if people know how to use them really well, no one's really going to have super fun.
See what I meant? See right there.
On the
killer will have fun.
They're going to want to go to the next game because, you know what? We're trying to stack some cakes, have some fun, put some plates on the tables, teleport, mess around. We're not just doing gens and getting out. What you were doing, you weren't poisoning. You weren't doing any of the event stuff. What you were doing is teleport right to this guy, hit, teleport, hit.
It's very idiotic when you really think about that. There wasn't any things in that for the killer to do in the event regardless. So as much as they want to bitch and complain and say, oh, but you didn't do the event stuff. It's like, okay, but buddy, like, you realize that not only what you see right here with the example being given, trying to get the achievement, number one, but two, Let's be so for real. Like, the killers had a fart cloud, and that was their entire ability. You just listed 2 to 3 things. That's more than one. Quick maths. So I don't know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? But I want to see if it gets any worse. I gotta see if it gets any worse. Hold on. Let's take a look.
But
We were working on.
we can appreciate a good nurse. Like I said, when I was in the game, you can listen to it. I think we were all just kind of bored, but I was like, oh, they're not being toxic. But it was kind of weird. Did you guys see the perks? I didn't see them.
No, I forgot that. Like,
They wanted out of that game. I'll also tell you something. And that is completely okay. Not even mad about it. We're on the next game. Just got on Killer a little bit ago. So if you want to watch how I play Killer, my title literally says Friendly Killer, so I'm not lying.
Guys, he's DBD's friendliest killer. It's in his title, so it must be true.
But
This is what I've been saying, man. And obviously no shade to somebody like SpookyZombae or anybody who mains Survivor. I have to preface that, obviously. Because, as I've said before, there are wonderful people out there that do main Survivor. And I know a few of them, or we've interacted with them before, or we've seen them around, stuff like that. And when I'm talking about these topics and I'm talking about these forum posts, I'm talking about these kinds of people, like this streamer that's trying to convince people to not play the game like the way they want. They want to convince you to play the game that the streamer wants. Oh, I'm a friendly killer. Like, you don't play killer then. You're not, like, if you're not playing the game, bud. Like, you're on Survivor, like, just fully embrace it. You don't have to pretend that you play killer. You know what I'm saying? And as we're saying, like, Zombie, here's the Survivor main. So, like, and they're even saying, like, the event was Survivor-sided, and they're even calling out that this Survivor main isn't being entitled. So, like, what I have to say is, like, this is why I want to spotlight, you know, a video like this, because I think it's so important that we really promote and we talk about and praise those, like, Survivor players that can call out other Survivor players, because they a lot of the time, they'll sit there and be like, oh, but they're a killer player, so, like, their opinion isn't valid, because at the end of the day, in the DVD community, killer mains are second class at that point. Like, they are ignored, and they're, like, nobody cares about them within the community, besides other killer players. Because unfortunately, when you have people like this that are promoting this kind of narrative, that are promoting this kind of negativity, they are ultimately adding to what is the biggest issues of the DVD community. There's such a gigantic divide because of people like this. They are walking around with the Twitch shirts and the badges and this, that, and the third, and having followings. And it's like they continue to infect the culture. They continue to make the DVD community even more of a stench within the sewer system of the DVD community. It ultimately is a sewer system. But sometimes you find some diamonds in the rough. Sometimes you find some great people. You know what I mean? You do. Or at least people that are willing to acknowledge, like, there are things that in this game that are just wildly unbalanced and stuff like that. So, and this is interesting as well. It looks like they got timed out as well, or potentially banned. But if you want to get into the nitty-gritty details of those things, you can obviously check out the full video. But I wanted to see if there was more things that they said. It's kind of hard to keep track. But it seems like they really crashed. It really seemed like, too, it got crazy and they crashed out. They really went back and forth. But at the end of the day, we already understand that Zombie here really was pretty much hit the nail on the head and pretty much knocked it right out of the park. I mean, there's not really much for the Survivor player to say at that point. The streamer to say, rather. Like, at the end of the day, they got cooked. Like, there's no reason to be sitting here trying to ban them for basically saying the exact opposite of what you think in that sense. And they were literally telling them respectfully, going, hey, look, I'm just playing casually. I'm just trying to do the event. Like, not the event, rather, the achievement. Don't play this killer. And they ignored all of that and crashed out. And I'm like, what are we talking about, man? Like, what? Like, at what point, like, what are we talking about? You're like, you're good at nurse. It's like, okay, congratulations, but you were also really bad at Survivor. Like, what did you think was gonna happen? You know what I mean? I'm just like, all right, bro. It's very mind-boggling. And if you want to see another video where I talked about some toxicity of the DVD community, we have one that I can try to find and link at the end of this. Check out my main channel where I talk about like other stuff like gaming, other things like that. I've been working on some scripts for those, but at least check out the Spider-Man video that I dropped on that one if you're interested in that. Check out my Rivals channel as well if you're interested in Rivals content. And I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, we're gonna shout out all the members. So shout out Patreon Crow Vader. So we have Evil Blade 17, Lord Whip with an F there, and then 6540. We have Razmakai, Cozy with Brando, Cap Courteous as well. We got Kargan Falcon, Dole Whip, Noxus, Zero Mocker, Christian, and Crow Vader. Appreciate you guys, man. And if you want your name read off at the end of every video, of course, consider becoming a member within the on this channel. You know, it could be the badge or I'm a member now tier. Either one works, and you get exclusive perks and content. So check it out, man. Appreciate you guys, man. It means a lot. We'll see you guys in the next one, man.